was the real pain. Damn, the world changed.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears. All that and more coming up next.
One of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport, Soldier Field in Chicago. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
McPherson has this one teed up, and off we go from Soldier Field. Taken at the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Williams now throwing on first down, and his throw here's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll run for the first time with DeAndre Swift. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Joseph Osai drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. Here comes the Bears punter now. Charlie Jones deep for Cincinnati. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, A lot of hype comes with it, and sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
They'll start on the ground with Moss, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Brown on second down. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Here's Burrow. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He completes it to Jones. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Out of bounds across midfield at the 48.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Burrow looking to pass. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And Chase going to pick up a Bengals first down as a tackle made at the 42.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On second down, here's Burrow. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Burrow will throw. And he is caught. He's going to have the first down and then some. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. T. Higgins, 39 yards. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Velus Jones now from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
Well, these guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Here now, 2nd and 4. On the option to give to Swift here.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Let's face it, when you have a guy who can pick up those types of runs and keep the chains moving or stay ahead of the chains, you're making everyone else on offense happy because you're opening things up to allow for a whole lot of different play calls.
On the option to give to Swift here. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards and a Chicago first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
48-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. A little short pass. This is Everett. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now Williams from the gun on 3rd down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Joseph Osai. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
The lessons will continue of this rookie. He's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive.
And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Burrow. He'll look underneath and finds Brown. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Chase Brown. A gain of 7 yards. And it's 3rd down.
coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Burrow on 3rd down. No, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. Dante Pettis deep for Chicago. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw. Williams. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll look to throw again. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. To the right side, and he's got more complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Now a throw here to his running back. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Williams. That pass complete to Moore. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Operating from the gun, Williams. That's to Moore, and he's got it. Touchdown Bears. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
So I'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Now the Bengal offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. And that's going to be caught. T. Higgins. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This one from 48 yards away.
McPherson's kick is good.
And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This is a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 to score as we resume action on EA Sports. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half, it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed. And on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now Burrow on first down. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Now Burrow. Open man, that's Gesicki down the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved, because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now. Hotly contested in the third quarter. And meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they've wanted to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
They'll go up the middle here with Moss. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap, because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now it's Burrow. Got him in. It's Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up a third down.
A gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
2nd and 9. They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the 3rd quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the 1st and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And his throw is incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
3rd and goal, Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They make their 2nd half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a 3-possession game.
Williams looking to throw on 2nd down. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Williams. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch signal for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
I'm calling a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete, and he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. On 1st and 10, here's Brown. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This is 2nd and 8. Burrow will throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Burrow looking to pass. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 31 yards.
And this is seemingly how it's been all game long. This defense has been just a step too slow. And here they're burned again. Another big play.
Let's play. Let's play now, baby. Let's play.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 7-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Here's Burrow. This will be caught once again by Brown. And the Bengals are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he returns this to the 22. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again.
And he will get enough for a first down, and that will lead us to the 2-minute warning.
Here's Williams on 1st and 10.
And that's out to the flat for Swift.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Out of bounds at his own 48-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
Back to throw again. Quick slant, caught by Moore. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
He'll get this off to Swift.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bengals will get the football back. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field.
Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now 2nd and 9. They'll go again here with Moss.
And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.